What's going on, guys? I'm finally back with another Pokemon battle. We have another doubleheader here because with the quad banded NU team, matches go by pretty fast, so it's kind of hard to find just one uploadable battle. Closing up on the end of Megamari, I know that's unrelated, but just saying that once Megamari is over, I'll be able to upload more frequently, if that makes any sense. But I'll explain that actually in the series. Here's a look at the team preview. His team is actually a very interesting mix of like standard threats and then interesting things like you know, you have Sock and Misdreavus and Zangoose, which are all really threatening just because of how powerful they are. And then you have some interesting things like Altaria and Swalot, and I'm not entirely sure what they do, so that they actually could be a problem. I would assume that his Altaria is a special attacker, just considering that his team seems to be lacking some of those, but hey, I can't make any judgments. One thing that seems to cause his team a bit of trouble is my Braviary and, well, not my Sock, but my Braviary particularly, because he has no Steel type, and when you have no Steel type and there's a banded Braviary involved, things will be taking massive amounts of damage. So yeah, let's just get this show on the road. I'm gonna lead off with my Piloswine, as usual. He's gonna lead off with his Swalot. Gonna go for the Sludge Bomb. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna set up my rocks. Nothing too special about that. He's actually gonna Encore me into that, which is a little annoying because I went for the Earthquake there. That probably would have probably not taken him out, but would have done a respectable amount of damage. I go into my Golurk here as he actually goes into his Misdreavus. I'm afraid of the Will-O-Wisp, so I'm going to switch into my Electrode because I really don't have anything else that can take it. But he actually ends up going for the Toxic, which is interesting. It means that I can basically switch into any of my guys at will because, oh yeah, I think that's fairly self-explanatory. But I'm just going to let Zabs get Toxic, and he actually does something that I was kind of scared of, predicting the Shadow Punch and going into his Zangoose, because now all of a sudden this thing gets its Toxic Orb activated. It's just a giant mess. So unfortunately some things will have to be foddered. Sorry, Dragon LX. You're really nice and all, but I need these physical threats. No offense. That was awkward. I'm just going to switch into my Basculin. I know an Aqua Jet can take him out. Thankfully, he didn't switch or anything. He's going to go into his Misdreavus. I believe I switch here, actually, yes. And I go into Zabs, partly as Death Fodder, and if I actually do manage to get off a banded Shadow Punch, then hey, great. Nothing on his team really wants to take it, but he does go for the Shadow Ball. I don't know if that crit mattered, probably didn't. This gives me a safe switch into my Braviary, and he taunts it. Maybe he watches Takaura's videos, but it's banded, bro. Don't worry. Whatever. He's just gonna switch into his Torkoal now. Of course, physically defensive, forces me to switch. He actually does get me with the Rapid Spin. Kind of unfortunate that the Golurk died there, but it doesn't really end up mattering too much. He's gonna go into his Sock now, and I probably, well, I guess it didn't really matter that I fought it off later on here, but regardless, this thing, like I've said before, is kind of threatening. However, because of his low health and negative stats, I can just go into my Basculin here. Actually predicts that and goes into his Altaria, which I thought would be physically defensive because, I mean, I know Aqua Jet is like a low base power, but that's a banded adaptability thing, Aqua Jet. Anyway, he's gonna go, or I'm gonna go into my Sock here. It's a little disorienting having me be on the other side, and it looks like Stone Edge is basically gonna clean up his team. We see that his Sock here is not scarfed because I outspeed it, and yeah, nothing else really wants to take Stone Edge. I'm actually just going to let him kill off my Sock here because that gives me a safe opportunity to go into my Basculin, and I really like Basculin. And I'm actually going to be able to clean up with Aqua Jet. So yeah, that was a pretty good game. I don't know, I enjoyed it. And this team, I don't know why it's so, like, why it does decently. It's a horribly made team. And yet, for some reason, it doesn't do badly at all. Like, what's up with that? regardless, you kill him off with Waterfall. I guess I didn't lock myself in the Aqua Jet. Makes sense, I guess. Anyway, second battle here against Uncle Peter Patriot, I believe. Name got blocked off. His team is interesting. It doesn't really look that great, but there are still some annoying things, such as that Executor, if it is sub with the Citrus Berry, that is like one of the most annoying things in NU, in my opinion. Along with Lipard, this team does not look like it's going to be a lot of fun. Musharna, of course, always, you know, kind of a big problem. And I've actually had a lot of trouble with Cacturne in the past. One thing I do notice is that once Raichu is out of the way, Braviary once again does massive work, and Golurk in general just seems to not, well, he does have that Cacturne. I don't know. I guess Liron wouldn't do too bad against him. Been a while since I've had these battles. I've actually had these saved up for like 4 days. I just haven't gotten a chance to narrate them because there are always people in my living room. I guess that's fairly self-explanatory. Anyway, he leads off with his Musharna. That's a problem. I'm afraid of the Calm Mind, of course, so I'm going to switch into Zabs. And here in this battle, I'm just going to say this right now, I've found myself to be lacking in the prediction department. Not that my prediction skills are bad, it's just that I don't predict ever. I play super obvious, but for some reason that seems to like help with this team. But anyway, you'll see that later in this battle. We see that his Life Art is actually offensive, or at least what seems to be, because I don't think I saw any lefties. I might just be dumb. Anyway, for some reason I did not see the switcheroo coming here. I mean, yay, his Floatzel's dead. That thing might have been annoying, but at the same time, Liron is burned, which is not fun times at all. He goes into his Executor. I do not want this thing setting up a substitute, which is why I switched into Takara so I can get some U-turns off. That looks like Specs damage. I mean, I don't have any HP or investment or anything, but that did way too much. Anyway, he's gonna switch into his Musharna. I U-turn into my Basculin, hoping I can kill it with Crunch. Musharna's way too bulky. It's not having any of that. But I can pretty much stay in here crunching. Because it's doing 46%. Oh my god. My apologies there. I was just interrupted, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, I can basically just stay in here and crunch all the time, but he does switch into his Cacturne. That thing's kind of threatening as well. I believe I switch into my Sock. No, I switch in. Oh, well, Braviary makes sense. The Sucker Punch was pretty obvious, I gotta say, but I don't really care. Well, okay, I do kind of care. I just kind of lost my Braviary, but whatever. I honestly don't mind too much. I can just go into Liron because I know that. Well, I kind of forgot that I didn't have my Violite. I thought I could live a Seed Bomb. Turns out I can't. That's fine. I can just go into the Dragon LX, fire off some hidden powers. He actually goes with the Seed Bomb instead of the Sucker Punch, which didn't make any sense to me. I actually do predict the Sucker Punch here because it was extremely obvious. Right, back on this again. Yeah, because I have Sturdy, because I honestly like Sturdy better than Mold Breaker. Mold Breaker is useful, but I do need Sturdy sometimes. I'm actually gonna go for the safe Ice Punch because it does hit all of his team for good damage. Ice Punch actually KOs the Lipard, which is really nice because that thing is, of course, a big threat. And here, he goes for the Hidden Power Ice, I suppose predicting my Golurk to come in, but... And then he does it again. I don't know if he's Choice Locked or Expert Belt, but he does it again, and you really shouldn't have done that, in my opinion. Like, he had a safe switch to go into his Musharna. So yeah, that was a weird play, I think. But, I'm going to Zabs as he actually goes for the Moonlight, which is very threatening, because, I don't want that thing at much of health at all. I know that Shadow Punch will be able to do a respectable amount of damage to everything, even Cacturne, because it is Banded Stab. Here, he predicts me to switch, and goes for the sub. Nope. I'm just gonna stay in Shadow Punch, and here, he predicts me to switch again, and goes with the Sword Stance. Stop predicting! It's obvious that I'm not gonna switch. Just go for the Sucker Punch. Like, shouldn't it be obvious that I'm banded? And that is why you don't overpredict all the time, every day. So yeah, that was an interesting game, I think. It just kind of, I'm honestly just kind of narrating it to one, fill up time, and to show that you shouldn't overpredict like that. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I'm sorry for the kind of weird narration stuff was happening, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.